Welcome to Sports News. I'm Barring Tony Uranta. Disgraced American cyclist Lance Armstrong has been ordered to pay $10 million in damages after losing a lawsuit with insurance firm SCA Promotions. In 2006, Armstrong received $7.5 million in payments from SCA relating to his 7 Tour de France victories. The 43-year-old later admitted to doping and was found to have lied in proceedings. The Texan was accused of being part of the most sophisticated, professionalized, and successful doping program that the sport had ever known. Meanwhile, the International Athletics Federation, the IAAF president, Lamine Jacques, has admitted the sport faces a crisis over allegations of doping by Russian competitors. Jacques said this in a difficult period for world athletics, but insists the body will put all of the crisis behind it and clean up the sport. And elsewhere, Manchester United survived a scare in League One Preston to set up a FA Cup quarter-final against Arsenal. After a goalless first half, the Premier League team came from a goal down to win 3-1, and that gave them the final last 8 slot. Meanwhile, in the FA Cup draw concluded tonight, Liverpool have a home tie against Blackburn, who knocked out Premier League teams Swansea and Stoke City. Giant killers Bradford City, who are making the last 8 for the first time since 1976, will host Reading FC. The League One side will be confident of progressing further after beating Premier League sides Chelsea and Sunderland in the previous rounds. The draw also produced a West Midlands derby between Aston Villa and West Brom. The quarter-final games will be played on the weekend of the 7th and the 8th of March. And Bayern Munich are ready to face Shakhtar Donetsk in the last 16 of the UEFA Champions League tomorrow night. The German champions trained later after recording their biggest Bundesliga win in 31 years against Hamburg on Saturday. Shakhtar are looking for their first home win against a German side in over 35 years, and they have not played a competitive match since their last Champions League group game in December last year. And that's it on Sports News for tonight. March will be back in a
The Egyptian military has carried out bomb attacks on ISIS targets in Libya after a video emerged online of 21 Egyptian Coptic Christians being beheaded. A kidnapped Egyptian worker, all of them Coptic Christians, were abducted in separate incidents between December last year and January this year from the coastal town of Sirte, east of Libya. The video describes the Copts as crusaders and refers, among other things, to 2 women, wives of Coptic priests whose alleged conversion to Islam triggered a sectarian dispute in Egypt in 2010. Well, State TV said the Egyptian strikes, which occurred earlier this morning, targeted camps and training sites and weapons storage areas. And on entertainment news, comedian AY's high-flying 30 days in Atlanta falls into the grasp of pirates. Well, these are more stories on entertainment news with Mayowa Ogundele.
And on entertainment news tonight, it was a busy weekend for a lot of people as lovebirds celebrated Valentine's Day. Several stars used social media to share details about their weekend, while multiple award-winning artist Two-Face Idibia celebrated with his family and in-laws. Star actress Omotola Jolade Kehinde and her husband enjoyed a getaway from the kids. Others also shared their Valentine's pictures. And tinsel actors Chris Atto and Damilola Adigbite took the Valentine celebration a notch higher as the couple tied a knot in Ghana on Valentine's Day. Wilson? Highest grossing Nigerian film, 30 Days in Atlanta, has fallen into the grasp of pirates as the film now sells on street corners and in traffic for about 200 to 300 naira. The producer and lead actor Ayo Mako, in an open letter to the Police Inspector General, describes the act as a rape on intellectual property.
Welcome to America. Your father! Oh, sorry. America with you. Your dad.
Chocolate City rapper M.I. Abagas called out singer-turned-columnist, etc. out for criticizing artists who openly campaign for politicians ahead of the forthcoming general elections. The rapper, who had been seen several times in company of a governorship aspirant, called etc. a failed artist and said he had the worst album ever released by a Nigerian artist. Etc. had earlier called MI and others political whores. Raving singer Yemi Alade is currently under a cyber attack as she lost control of her Instagram account to hackers over the weekend. According to her management, the Johnny Singer's ID was taken over with private conversations with her friends and colleagues being posted into the public domain. And on to new music today. After the successful release of her last singles, the infectious Tiff, Sonora singer Simi is back with a brand new single titled Jam Question. The mid-tempo Afro-pop tune is produced by Oscar Herman Aka. And that's all for tonight. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Thanks a lot, Mayowa. Let's remind you of the main news tonight. Former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has dumped the People's Democratic Party and said he's satisfied with being just a statesman rather than joining any other political party. Thank you. Remember, you can read up more on these stories on our website, channelstv.com. And that's News at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.